I lost some of my friends, some of my neighbors, some of my relatives. And there are still many friends or neighbors, we still cannot reach them.
大家好，我是风力哥，欢迎来到我的频道。不好意思，今天的影片不会开开心心的那一种影片，因为你们都知道土耳其发生了2个很大的地震。我旁边有一个朋友，他在土耳其的房子倒了，他的一些家人有问题。还有在台湾，我们也发现台湾人真的很喜欢、很爱帮忙别人，所以我们真的很感动、很感谢台湾人。那我问他一些问题，他接下来给你们地震的部分怎么样 ？Ali, welcome to my channel, and I would of course prefer to shot a good video, happy video, you know, introducing you Taiwan and those kind of things. But we have to talk about the earthquake and the situation in Turkey. I've heard your bad news about your family and your house and everything. Could you please tell me how you got the news?
Yeah, it's when I woke up in the morning, the first thing I saw is the house of my picture, which was collapsed. The first few hours, I couldn't call anyone. I didn't want to hear any bad news. Then after a while, I tried to reach my family, but it was really difficult because of the earthquake.
Yeah.
At that night, I reached out to one of my sister, and she told me the situation that my parents' house, my sister's house, they are all collapsed, but luckily they were all alive. One of my sister got injured, but she will be okay. That's the situation for now.
The scariest thing was like there was somebody pregnant. Who was that? Like,
yeah, it's my sister. She's the injured one. She's actually pregnant. When the earthquake happened, they couldn't go out. Then after the building was collapsed, actually, they go out and they even couldn't check the situation of the baby for the first few days. She was in the hospital by yesterday, and the baby is okay, and she's also okay.
Oh, thanks God. Those couple days must be so hard for you and for your sister too, but like, thanks God they are safe.
Yeah.
But there are so many people who are not safe. How did you get the news from them? Because like internet and like GSM operators, like they lack of service.
One of my sisters, she's living a little bit far away from my parents and other sisters. She tried to text me somehow, and she told me that everybody is alive. Although my family is alive, I lost some of my friends, some of my neighbors, some of my relatives, and there are still many friends or neighbors, we still cannot reach them, or we don't know where are they. It is still not easy to reach out someone, but yeah, that is how my sister texted me and told me everything.
Eğer hani şey yapamazsan, devam edemeyecek olursan söyle. Yani devam etmek zorunda değiliz. Bayağı zorlandığını görüyorum.
Evet.
Oh, that's been so hard for him. He lost so many people around him, and then that's really hard to conduct this interview for me too, but this is the way to share the situation there, and also we would like to share other things that we have seen this weekend. How about the situation in the city?
People say the city is completely destroyed. It's entirely destroyed, like highways, the hospitals. Even if the building not collapsed, it's got really big damage. So everybody is trying to leave the city right now. They're trying to start a new life maybe in other cities, so it will be difficult for everybody.
How about the weather there? Because the winter in Taiwan and the winter in Turkey are not the same, and especially around that area, the earthquake area, the winter is a little bit tougher.
Yeah, when the earthquake happened, it was raining actually, and in my city it is really windy at night. So people had to spend the nights outside, and it was really cold, and the rain and also raining. So it should be really tough for them.
Now I heard that like the snow started there, and it's gonna be even harder for the people who are waiting to be saved because the buildings are cold and no heating system. Of course, the collapsed buildings. Oh, that's really like so sad to even talk about that. But people are like buried under collapsed buildings. So it's like I cannot imagine how hard the situation there for them. Let's just like finish that part, because like it's also hard for me to ask these questions, and like you are living in this, like you lost so many people. So just like let's don't talk about this part too much. On Saturday, actually help people who are helping Taiwanese people for their donations to Turkey. I felt really touched seeing so many people trying to help Turkish people, and even like you can even see like 6-year-old kid trying to, you know, tape boxes, and also 70, 80 years old men. I don't want to say old because like they feel young inside. They are trying to help, at least like push something, and then like separate things, at least write something. So everybody is trying so hard. And there was a lady who introduced me the things, the facilities and everything, how everything goes. She received so many calls from people who are coming from Tainan or like Taichung or something. They were asking for the roads and everything, the address, and the Taiwanese people's help didn't end that day, and it's going there for like 5 days, right? Like,
yeah, that's what I know.
That's really huge. We are really thankful. I was like holding myself not to cry, stay strong, but like we are really thankful. And for me, I have different feelings. And how about you? Because like you have these like emotions, plus you have seen that, and you have a lot of sorrow right now, and you also went there and helped.
Yeah. When I arrived to the site, actually, I got emotional. I didn't expect that I am going to see that much people. Like the help was keep coming, and people were keep coming to help. It was a really huge help. We are really grateful, and we really appreciate the help from Taiwan.
Have you experienced any earthquake in Taiwan?
Yes, I have experienced a few earthquakes in Taiwan, but it was not that big, I think. As I heard from my Taiwanese friend, they are usually really calm during the earthquake.
Yeah.
When it was happening in the classroom or something, they were just like really calm, and they don't try to run away.
Yeah. Like when I came here first, my wife, then my girlfriend was cooking for me, and there was a big earthquake, and then I was like panicking because like I have childhood traumas. I was panicking, and then she was like, "Okay, what happened?" I said, "Like there's an earthquake. Can't you feel?" She said, "Yes." And what should we do? And she was like, "Okay, just sit and wait for me. I'm almost done." Okay, like that's quite a situation here. The understanding of earthquake is quite different here in Taiwan, because I noticed earthquake is not that scary when I came to Taiwan. I think the biggest reason is the quality of the buildings.
Yes.
Do you also feel like, you know, the quality in Turkey is different than here?
In Taiwan history, actually, they also experienced really big earthquake, especially is the one which is in 1999. After that experience, they actually gained something, they learned something from that, and they rebuild their building based on that earthquake, and stronger and much better, I guess.
Thanks so much for answering my questions. I know it's so hard to answer such questions, especially when it's new and it still hurts you, I know. Thanks a lot for accepting this interview, and I hope our viewers can also know more about the earthquake and the situation and how grateful we are. Thanks everyone for watching. It's not right to ask, but like if you can subscribe, like and share this video, I will really appreciate your help. I will see you next time. Bye bye.